Welcome to Snooze Worthy, a podcast by Parenting Practice of Colorado, your window into the world of pediatric sleep, where we explore the science behind sweet dreams, effective sleep teaching techniques, and all the intriguing nuances of your child's slumber. I'm your host, Lindsey Birchfield.
And I'm Paige Legault. Together, we're here to guide you through the labyrinth of parenting, offering insights, strategies, and science-backed advice to make parenting during those early childhood years not just manageable, but truly memorable.
As pediatric sleep specialists, we've seen the transformational power of sleep in countless families.
And because parenting is a journey, we won't stop at sleep. We'll provide you with valuable parenting tips for every aspect of early childhood, from managing tantrums to fostering creativity and hitting those all-important milestones.
So whether you're a seasoned parent in need of a sleep overhaul or a new parent preparing for the joys and challenges of early childhood, Snooze Worthy is your trusted resource. Join us as we unravel the science of sleep, share practical advice, and make parenting truly snooze-worthy. Everybody, welcome back to Snooze Worthy. I'm Lindsey, and I am here with my co-host, Paige. And today we're going to dive into one of my favorite topics, how sleep impacts your child's growth and learning.
Yes, if you've ever wondered why your toddler seems to master new skills overnight, or why your preschooler is a complete grump after a late bedtime, this episode is going to connect the dots for you. Sleep just isn't rest. It's an active time when growth and brain development happen.
Absolutely. So let's start with growth. During deep sleep, especially in the first part of the night, the body releases growth hormone. So this is a hormone that supports muscle development, tissue repair, and literally growing taller.
Incredible. That's why when your baby goes to bed, they look like a different baby when they wake up because they're bigger.
Right?
So when kids are consistently missing deep sleep, they're missing opportunity for that physical growth. It's not just about how tall that they get. It also impacts their immune function and their ability to heal.
Yeah, and this is why we often see kids get sick more easily when their sleep is disrupted. Their bodies don't have the full opportunity to repair and to recharge at that point in time. One of the things that we here at the Birchfields have seen is a significant kind of dip in sickness when we do focus on sleep. And again, I've talked about this a lot, but sleep is important here. So we are doing everything we can to help support good quality sleep for our kiddos, but also for Tim and myself. And so we have seen just such a significant decrease in our children's sickness in comparison to a lot of other kiddos around. And the other thing too that we have seen with their sickness is a shorter duration. So oftentimes everyone's going to get sick. It's part of life, right? Especially if you're in school. I mean, heck, they share germs all of the time. But in those instances, when my kiddos have gotten sick, when I am focusing on maybe an earlier bedtime, giving them more opportunity to rest their body, the just duration of the sickness goes down considerably, or even the need to take that next step to get medical care. We can skip that step altogether because I'm giving their bodies an opportunity to heal and rest and for that immune system to turn on and do what it is supposed to do. So I absolutely see a correlation between sickness in my family and our recovery, or even lack of sickness in our family due to our strict prioritization of sleep here.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with you on that. And I feel like in my home, we all stay relatively healthy and the duration is much shorter. The severity of illness is much shorter. We can manage more things on our own. And being in school, being around other children, my kiddo's a kiddo that skips those all the time. Like, she's not getting sick every single time her whole room is getting sick. She's the one who's there when they're all out, which is great. So it's a really important process to look at and take into consideration now that we're going into sixth season. So let's talk a little bit about the brain. So when kids sleep, their brains are busy organizing and storing information. It's called memory consolidation.
Exactly. And so that means that the things they learn during the day, whether it's maybe a new word, a new motor skill, or even social skills, are literally being wired into the brain while they sleep.
Absolutely. And sleep also helps regulate those emotions, big or small. A child who
100%.
A child who is rested can cope with disappointment, they can follow directions, and they can engage socially a lot better than a child who is sleep deprived. You'll see meltdowns, impulsivity, lack of focus, lack of being able to sit and do the task at hand, a lot of gross motor movement is going on to try to still be in their own little bodies because they are so tired.
Absolutely. And there's even research showing that kids who sleep better do better academically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because they're smarter. It's just because their brains are actually prepared to learn and remember. And there's a really awesome story with one of the clients that I worked with. I was working with a 3-year-old little boy, and he had just started school. And he was having just a whole host of different behavioral problems at school. He was behind developmentally, and the parents just didn't know what to do. In fact, they were going down a bunch of different rabbit holes to look into diagnoses and just what is going on with my kiddo. And he was not also sleeping at the same time that all of this stuff was happening. And so they reached out to me. I had worked actually with this little guy when he was a baby to help sleep teach him at about 4 months. And so I always love getting clients back and seeing them, but and just watching their story unfold. But once we got structure in place, schedule in place, routine in place, and this little guy started sleeping through the night again, his teacher actually came to his mom and said, I don't even recognize this little boy. I mean, from where he was to where he is now is just absolutely incredible. It's like you waved a magical wand. And the only real thing that we had changed was his sleep. Now, of course, when we're working with toddlers and preschoolers, we also work with our parents on daytime behavior and just parenting approach in general, because day bleeds into night and night into day and all of those things. So there were different things we were shoring up in the home in general. But the fact that he was now getting the sleep that he needed to allow his body to rest and reset and regulate and learn and all of those things was happening. And he had honestly just transformed. And so it goes to show you sleep is powerful. And it's important that our children are getting the sleep that they need to be the best versions of themselves.
100%. And that story is not the only highlight. That's a drop in the bucket here at Parenting Practice. So if that resonates with you, reach out. We'd love to help. So how do you know if lack of sleep is impacting your child's development? That's the hard part. We want to make sure that we're aware of what it looks like. So the first thing that you're going to notice is frequent meltdowns or hyperactivity. This can also come across as ADHD-like behavior. Difficulty focusing or following simple instructions, also like ADHD behavior. Slow progress with developmental milestones is also another one. And then constant illness or taking a long time to recover. We've all had those kiddos in our lives that have a cough for a month, 2 months, snotty nose, things like that. We want to make sure that we are doing everything we can so that they're healthy and comfortable and growing.
Yep, absolutely. And sometimes parents will think to themselves, like, my child just has a hard temperament, or maybe they just are behind. But oftentimes improving sleep makes a huge difference for them. And a personal reflection here a little bit for me when it comes to sleep is that my daughter has ADHD. So I was chuckling a little bit when Paige was saying those different things, because yes, that's a frequent thing in my home. But what I have absolutely found out with her is that when she gets good quality sleep, which is again another reason why we prioritize sleep here, and I've had to make a few changes to her sleep by adding in some supplementation and things like that to ensure that she's getting good quality deep sleep. She also is a mouth breather, so we've had to do a lot of work on making sure that just her body has what it needs for good quality sleep, her posture, her mouth posture looks right, all of that stuff. But when we have made those changes to ensure that not only does she have a consistent bedtime, that she has the right schedule, that supplementation's on board, mouth posture's on board, I have seen a drastic change in those ADHD type behaviors. To the point where medication might have been something that we were looking at a year ago. Now it's not even in the cards. A year ago, she had, learning specialists on her team for school. Now she's not even on the radar anymore.
Nope.
So it's crazy that, with sleep and tinkering around with sleep a little bit, we've been able to reduce so many of those types of symptoms to a point now where if you were to meet her, especially in the morning time, because guess what? She's nice and rested then. We get closer to bedtime, it all comes back a little bit more, just to be honest, because guess what?
She's
Lived life.
7.
We're getting tired, right?
Yeah.
But in the morning time, no one would ever probably think that she has an ADHD diagnosis. And so it's just incredible to see what can come when you are really honing in somebody's sleep. And the same thing for my husband. My husband has ADHD. The last year, we have been prioritizing his sleep, changing our wind down routines, keeping our consistent schedule. And guess what? He got off of his ADHD medicine as a result of it.
A
So it just
completely
goes
different person.
Yep.
It's wild. Yeah.
Yeah. Sleep it's incredible. If you are looking for the magic wand, that is it. I'll just be very honest. Sleep and good quality sleep. Good quality sleep.
And not hanging your hat on it's genetic, it's developmentally appropriate, right. They have to stay awake to lower the risk of SIDS. If you are seeing these behaviors in your child and they are not getting 8 hours of consecutive nighttime sleep a night, every night, something is wrong with their sleep.
Absolutely.
And let's take a look at it. In 8 hours, I don't want to confuse anybody. Our goal is 10 to 12, but 8 hours is where magic starts to happen. 8 hours is enough time for your body to do these functions we've been talking about. Flushing toxins, building and repairing their immune system, organizing those memories from short-term to long-term, pruning things away. The growth hormone has had 6 hours to produce. But ultimately, we know babies don't thrive with 8 hours of sleep. So we would want to get to the end goal of 10 to 12 to give them that full opportunity. Riley, who is 7, still probably would like more than 8 hours of sleep at night, as she's owed. So 8 hours is where magic starts to begin, but it's not the end-all, be-all.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what can parents do? First, you want to prioritize age-appropriate sleep amounts. So you want to figure out for your specific child what they're owed. At my house, my 10-month-old is owed 12 hours at night, 3 hours during the day, equaling 15 hours across his 24-hour period. For my almost 5-year-old, she is owed around 13 to 14 hours, just depending on her day. And so that's going to look like 12 to 13 hours at night, no nap during the day. My 5-year-old is a high sleep needs kid. So if your 5-year-old is no longer napping and they're sleeping 12 hours, 10 hours at night happily, great, no problem there. So the window for them is 10 to 13. My girl averages around 13. And then from there, preschoolers who are a little bit older to school-age children, they still need around 9 to 12. So that's where Lindsay's oldest is going to land. And again, you want to make sure that they are functioning well during the day with what they're getting.
Yeah, absolutely. And second, make sleep a non-negotiable part of your family culture. I do honestly think I need some kind of a sign at my family about this.
You do.
Because it is our part of our family culture. So protect your bedtime, even if it means skipping the extra activity. We've done it many times.
Absolutely. We have skipped many events, no regrets.
Never.
No, the fireworks will be there next 4th of July. It's fine.
Exactly.
And third, we want to watch for overtired signs. An overtired child won't necessarily crash. They often get more wound up. That's that second wind we talked about earlier, which makes falling asleep harder and reduces that deep restorative sleep. And I just want to tack on second winds present in 2 ways, like we're describing here. So it's that tornado, high energy, lots of movement, clumsiness, slap happy, like they have never been happier in their life. Yeah, loud. And yeah, hoorah. Or meltdown city. Everything they're fussing and crying at the drop of a hat. Regulation is hard to get. You can tell that they're not in their bodies, they're not grounded. Everything is a battle that normally wouldn't bother them is bothering them. Lots and lots of tears, even full on tantrum. So pay attention to both of those signs.
Absolutely. So to wrap up, let's just say sleep is not wasted time, okay? It's when your child's body grows, their brain is learning, and this is when their emotions reset. It's literally giving everybody the opportunity to restart a new day.
Yep. And if you're wondering whether your child is getting the right kind of sleep for healthy growth, we'd love to help. We're always here. You can book a call with us and we will create a personalized plan with you and your family. If that doesn't feel in alignment with you, you can always start with just perusing our website or following us on social medias.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining today and we hope to see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.